certain that some of you must have fallen off your chairs laughing through those excellent speeches by our contestants. Let's all give a round of applause to our humorous speech contestants. Thanks to the chief judge, judges and all role players. And now we move on to the contest of contests. The Champions Contest, International Speech Contest. This contest proves the mettle of a speaker with a 7-minute speech which will be a mixture of word power, imagination, body language, vocal fluctuations, convictions, clarity of thoughts, inspiration, motivation and all. And to conduct the International Speech Contest 2019, we call upon the International Speech Contest Chair, Gavilia Devika. Gavilia Devika is a 10th grader in DPS Modern Indian School. She has a passion for art and her hobbies include drawing and listening to music. Everybody please put your hands together for Gavilia Devika.
Welcome fellow Gavaliers and guests to the Creative Gavel Club's International Speech Contest. Tonight we have 8 speakers competing for the right to represent the club at the division contest. The winner will compete against other club winners at the Division League contest on April 12, 2019. The purpose of the international contest is twofold. First, it provides an opportunity for speakers to improve their speaking abilities and to recognize the best as encouragement to all. Secondly, it provides an opportunity to learn by observing the more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training. To provide the best environment for our contestants, I would like to request everyone to please turn off all noise-making devices, which include the cell phones, tablets, PCs, or any other device. No one will be allowed in or out of the room once the contest has begun and while speakers are speaking until the last speaker has spoken. No one is to enter or leave except in emergencies. Sergeant at Arms, please ensure the entrances are secure. Let me briefly explain the rules of the contest. Each contestant is required to present a 5 to 7 minute original speech on any topic of his or her choice. If a contestant speaks for less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds, then the contestant is disqualified. Each speaker is judged for the 5 judges against specific criteria. The lights will be activated as follows. Green light at 5 minutes, amber light at 6 minutes, and red light at 7 minutes and will stay on until the conclusion of the speech. No notice shall be given should the speaker go at time. In the event of lights failure, color cards shall be used and the speaker will be given 30 seconds extra time. The participant can use the lectern or stand in front of the lectern. The speaking area for all participants is a space between the table and the lectern. The speaking order as determined by the law for today's contest is the following. Speaker 1, Gavalier V. Krishna. Speaker 2, Gavalier Jabaskin. Speaker 3, Gavalier J. Speaker 4, Gavalier Eliza. Speaker 5, Gavalier Ananya. Speaker 6, Gavalier G. Speaker 7, Gavalier Kirtana. Speaker 8, and Speaker 8, Gavalier Anthony. Okay, are we ready to start the contest? Yes. Our first speaker is Gavalier Dia, whose speech title is The Small Things in Life. The Small Things in Life, Gavalier Dia.
I have a question for you. In fact, 2 questions. How many of you here regularly do some good charitable deeds like donating to an orphanage, contributing to old age homes, or at least help an old lady cross the road? Again, no, you don't have to answer that because I know a lot of you here don't desire to advertise your charitable pursuits. But hats off to all of you who answered yes to that. Now, here's my second and more important question. How many of you here regularly smile or at least nod your head at the watchman standing at the gates of your workplace or at the cleaning lady you see almost every day at work? Comparatively, you can see there are not many hands for this option. And I must confess, neither was I. Respected contest chair, honorable judges, fellow Gavaliers, guests, and my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
So I had just been transferred to a new school because my parents felt that my previous school was not up to my academic and intellectual standards. It was here that I met, let's call him Matthew. Now Matthew had a reputation which was an example to all, an example of exactly what a child should not be. This included school education spanning 15 years to reach the 8th grade. This long stretch of education was due to his involvement in various extracurricular activities like bunking classes, getting into fights, not turning up for exams. And if he did turn up for exams, he cheated in those exams, etc. He was even accused of smoking on the sly. But God knows if those rumors are true. Now, nobody knew much about him, and nobody knew his exact age, except for the fact that he was well over 5 to 8 years older than us. And what we did know about him was that he came from a very poor family. He had an alcoholic father and a mother who worked at a very lowly job. Now, the first advice that I received from everybody was to keep away from him. And I did. But then I couldn't help noticing him. In spite of his notorious character, what surprised me was his popularity with the working classes. The hoi polloi loved him. And despite everybody's advice, he still remained a mystery to me. And eventually, we became friends. Now, days passed, months passed. It was a regular day at school. So I was with a group of my friends, that included Matthew, and all of us were having lunch. So again, fast forward, all of us finished our lunch. So as usual, I threw my leftovers into the dustbin. But what he did next came like a bolt out of the blue. In fact, he ate half of his food, packed the rest of it, and kept it in his bag. I felt suspicious, so I jokingly asked him, "Is that what you're planning to have for dinner tonight?" And he looked at me and answered as a matter of factly, "Well, no dear, this is for our cleaning lady. You know, she doesn't earn much and she barely ever has lunch. I think she deserves it more than me." That moment, those few minutes were a revelation to me. I was seeing this boy, this school bad boy, in a new light. And then I started noticing him almost every day. And I noticed something. He didn't go out of his way or put in extra effort to do these good things. It was all part of his daily routine. He had a smile, a word, a nod, or at least a pat on the shoulder of everybody he came across, especially the workers. He chatted with them, he laughed with them, he asked them about how their day went, he asked them about their children by name. In other words, he made everybody and anybody who felt like a nobody feel recognized and important. He even helped those poor people with money, despite the fact that he himself was poor. He helped them with money, even if that meant that he had to borrow it from somebody else, including me. In short, what others, the so-called great men, do with money and charity, he did in his own small way, with his big heart, with whatever he could afford, and with his own body language. Have you ever realized what these small acts of good that you do could do to others? To you, they cost nothing, but to them, it cost the world. Just to be acknowledged of their existence could brighten up their otherwise miserable and stressful life. Try it. Try it today, try it tomorrow, try it whenever, wherever, however. Make it a point to smile or at least nod your head at everybody you come across. See the magic working. Now, to the outside world, Matthew, he still remains the archetypical bad boy in school. But he doesn't care. And now, honestly, neither do I. Because I learned. He taught me that you do not need to be a Warren Buffett or Bill Gates to become a great man. After all, it is not the bigness of things that matter. It is the small things in life that best our greatness upon us. No wonder Napoleon Hill said, "If you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way." Over to you.